Hello everyone, this is Marco, aka Kramus, and in this video we're talking about the Barbarian, continue the saga of every class in PTR, alright? As always, my idea here is to shorten the gap between the S tiers now, or S plus tiers, which is theoretically the highest, and the floor. So the D tiers become what we know today as A minus, alright, bottom A, whichever you want to say. I don't want the ceiling to be higher, I want it to stay, but I want it to go up. But this, it doesn't matter, this is not the way I'm talking it right now, I just want the gap to become closer, alright? So everything I give here are ideas to make this gap closer. Want to be a bottom, a mid, a top, bottom last, I don't know, maybe it will change a little bit the meta, but if we do that, I believe we are going to have a lot of people doing a lot of different things and having a lot of fun. As such, this is my opinion, and as such it is full of flaws. Alright guys, I know you may disagree, just be polite and we can talk and make this game better, alright? So let's start with the war cries. Well, the war cries. First thing, take away the synergies from this side of the war cry tree. It doesn't really matter, in fact, and they are really not synergies at all. It doesn't make much sense. Theoretically, these have some sense. This doesn't. But that's theoretically because I want to say that the first thing we need to do is get rid of Find Potion. Find Potion was logical to exist in 1.0. Alright? In 1.0 you could not buy potions. It was the only time it could not buy potions, so you needed to find them. And Barbarians had this skill, so it could help him, alright? It doesn't exist anymore. Even Diablo 1 had potions to buy, and there are people who say, let's stop buying potions, and that's just, it doesn't matter, people, seriously, let's stop with this nonsense. Just let's go to the Find Potion. It needs to be totally reworked. I would not help this at all about potions. I would make this probably a mastery for the war cries, right? Where this mastery would give extra duration, maybe, for the ones that has duration, extra range for the ones that need range, or maybe all, alright? And extra damage for the one that has damage, alright? Just create a mastery there and makes it happen. Second, always go to the 80 points builds. Never, please Blizzard, never create builds that needs more than 80 points in the synergies with the skill points. So this is correct at the moment, it's 80 points, but it's not very logical to have battle cry, taunts, and how to work with this, sorry. If you created a mastery, you just could put a mastery here. You could make Green Ward works with Warcry, which would be nice, alright? And as I said, take away the necessity of this. You could even make Warcry work with Warcry is physical, so Shout maybe should be better than the rest, but I understand you are using this because it is in the sequence, but if you think in a 3D way, this is also the sequence of Warcry, and not one of this is a synergy, so whatever. Just rethink synergies. I would say make a mastery specifically for the cries. Doesn't need to be here because it's not a combat mastery, it is a Warcry mastery, alright? Take away the necessity of a corpse for Green Ward. I understand the idea of it getting the corpse and making the Green Ward so the creatures are frightened by it, but it's in Diablo 2, when you have lots of corpses in the ground, it usually means there's nothing else to kill. Alright, and the other abilities will not help much against uniques and bosses. And bosses especially will not have a lot of corpses in the ground, so this becomes moot. Take away the corpse of slaying and, I don't know, make it gain charges with corpses, with kills, and it gets, I don't know, 5 charges, so you can use these charges, and as if you took the skulls of your enemies and use it to create green wards if you want to maintain the fantasy of it. But please, take away the corpse need from green ward. It's just terrible for the barbarian at all. The rest is kind of fine. I would say shouts getting war cries getting reads of curses is kind of bad usually, especially for the Act 5 mercenary, and that could be, I don't know, it should not stack, but it should not erase. Let's say it should give the different debuffs. Alright, I think that's the way it should work without erasing the curse, because it really make Act 5 mercenaries kind of bad at the moment. Combat masteries. I'm not sure if I would go in combat masters and give the throwing mastery chance to refill. Replenish. I would put the replenish specifically in double throw. Why? Because you already have more than one thing happening here. You have critical strike, you have pierce, you have damage, you have attack rating. It is enough. But you need replenish in double throw. You do need replenish in double throw as a passive ability of the double throw active ability. Okay? You really need. Alright? It's terrible. Other thing I will do is get increased stamina and change its name. Change its name to something like increased agility, and in that you would gain increased stamina, alright? And I'd say give it base attack rating. Base number, not percentage. Base. It would make people use this, especially during leveling, would make leveling a barbarian melee in a much better way, because it's a problem attack rating, and barbarian is the master of the melee. Oh, damn, man, we have 5 masters about that. Give it base, which would be multiplied by this, and would help the barbarian not need a lot of attack rating from its items, which would help barbarian a lot, and would make people put points in increased stamina, which would create a new skill. And this base damage could be around, I don't know, it could be a percentage of the stamina. It's like, okay, you are gaining 100% stamina, and 25% of the stamina becomes attack rating, okay? Think of a way of doing this, and it would be very cool, and would be used this skill. You want people to use this? Sure, give it that. Oh, but no one puts more points in Iron Skin. Yet it is defense. Defense has its use, but stamina doesn't. It doesn't matter to put 0.4% in Berserk. It's just blah. No one will use it anyway. Seriously, it's terrible. Think of it. It could really help. It's a level 12 skill, and at level 12, it could really help, because at level, I don't know, 18, 20, when you get to Act 4, you start to really noticing you are missing a lot, and this could really help this character to be there. All right, would be very fun, very nice. It's I don't know. It seems like a good idea. I would change it. Again, do not think of not changing stuff that simply does not work. This does not work. This will never work. It's just stamina. Stamina dies in Nightmare over. Maybe game should not even have stamina anymore. Okay? Because it really is a problem of the, I don't know, 3 acts, act 1, 2, and 3. Alright? So maybe it should just get rid of this. Right? The rest, it's fine. The passives are fine. And I do understand the diminishing returns of this thing, so I really don't think it needs more. Leap attack. Well, let's go to the combat skills. Leap attack needs to be AoE. It needs to be AoE, otherwise no one will ever use it. It needs to be AoE. Alright? It is clunky, and it still is one single target. Single target is terrible for this. So please make it AoE, and maybe after making it AoE we can really see if its damage is enough. It's good. Before doing that, we are just not even trying for long because it's terrible. Alright? Whirlwind is, I don't know, it needs to start at higher damage, not 50% just, or it needs to get faster there, you know? Because for leveling, Whirlwind is simply terrible. At level 30 you cannot use Whirlwind, which is terrible. So rethink this. And the second thing you need to change, this is a necessity. Whirlwinds should not be a target, mob target skill. You should be just a movement skill, like you put here, you put here, you put here, and all the targets around. Not a target. You should not be able to target a mob, because the way target works, the mob, if the mob is this time and I put it here, it may stop at here and not where I targeted at all. It's like, let's say the mob is here, all right, and I target here, but the foot of the mob is here. He will just go to there. So I lost all these movements for the basically only AoE skill that Whirlwind has. It's terrible. It needs to stop being a mob targeting. You just need to move around, consider only ground, all right? And it needs to have a better leveling way. At low level, it's just terrible. You may just make it faster to go to the max, and come on, guys, doesn't matter. Just make it, they start to be good, because we cannot use it, and it's really mana intensive, so it maybe needs a little less mana per level. In fact, every single ability that's mana intensive nowadays needs it. It's kind of too much. Bash, not a very good ability, but okay, it's a level 1 ability. Level 1 ability should be a leveling ability and nothing much. Stun, whatever. It simply is for PVM, not much. Concentrate is fine. I'd say Berserker point could give a little extra, alright? And Bash too, I think Concentrate could use a little extra damage, but it's nice. And Berserk, now with battle orders, make a lot more sense, and it was a good skill. It's now very good. Double swing, kinda meh. Not bad, but not that good. Double throw. Double throw needs to replenish. It doesn't matter if you got 50% extra amounts. It is good, but it needs to replenish. It just needs to replenish. I don't know, every 3 raw points it gains 1 extra replenish, and at level 18 it is replenish 8 over 3 seconds. Would maybe help a lot. Replenish 6 over 3 seconds, which is 2 per second basically, would help a lot. Okay, it would not be perfect, but it would help a lot. The idea is not, it's really not to go empty with this. during mobs, and it's just being a problem against bosses especially. So you really need this to have a replenish way. All right, and frenzy. All right. Oh, by the way, double throw needs. I wouldn't. People say it should have. It should have an AOE. I'd say it's more logical. It have a ricochet, so it gives every 3 levels it ricochets to 1 extra. So it at the first level it goes to 2. At level 4 it goes to 3, at level 7 it goes to 5, and it keeps ricocheting, and it can go like 100%, 100%, 90%, 90%, 8%, 8%, 7%. Just go ricocheting and give a little less damage each one, but it would help a lot, and I think it wouldn't be OP with that way. And that's the Barb. Barb needs help, but I think this would already make it very nice to level with it and all. And I still think this kind of is too much magic. But as I said, oh, and it needs extra damage, around 8%. But as I said, make this a mastery. This would help. It would give damage. It would give less mana. It would give AOE, because it needs AOE. Warcry needs AOE, damage, and less mana. It needs all the 3. Around double AOE, around 50% extra damage, and a little bit less mana, maybe .50 and not .75. Okay. As always, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed. I wish you great loot. Help and aid each other, people. This makes the game much better and life much better. And enjoy this absolutely amazing game. Alright? See you soon. Cheers and hugs. Bye bye.